Hey, what's up, everyone? You're watching the grudge match between NHL 2K9 and NHL 09, EA against 2K. This isn't as much of a grudge match as it is a comparison because we're not really having anyone take the side of 2K's game, even though it does have some benefits, and also because Hillary Goldstein, who's joining us today, is really the only one who has gotten in depth with both of these games. Some other people in the office have played one a little bit more than the other, but not both of them as much as you have.
This is true. I've played them both a lot.
So you played 2K more recently, right?
Yeah, I just started playing NHL 09 again, but yeah, I played a whole bunch of 2K for the review.
This has been a rivalry that's been going on for quite some time, and a long time ago 2K sort of held the crown, and then sometime around 2006, after 2006, EA revamped their game to make it what they wanted to be, basically focus on fun. And they did a really good job, and ever since then they've just been getting better and better. So right now EA is sort of the standard for hockey games.
They created an amazing amount of realism with their game last year, and they just carried over and made it even better this year with even more refined, better AI. It just feels and looks and plays about as close to real hockey as we've ever seen on the system. 2K decided that they wanted to kind of go a little bit different route, so they made it a little bit more streamlined and actually simplified their controls. And you know, where in NHL 09, a lot of it is about you've got to play true hockey. You've got to actually set up plays. You can't just keep crashing the net and going straight down the ice. 2K actually plays very much like the old NHL 0 series was, where it was like you've just got to kind of go straight. You get a lot of easy breakaways and you know, a lot of one-timer goals and stuff like that. It's really easy to deke out the goalie, just kind of like move the stick one way and the goalie will always kind of lean towards it, and then you just shoot to the other side of the net. It's easy to get goals that way. So yeah, they made it, you know, they tried to make it a little bit more, I guess, fun and accessible for people, but they didn't, you know, they kind of, I think they left a little bit of the sim behind that they were famous for back in the day.
Right. What does the 2K default to? Does it default towards that sort of easy control, or does the Pro Stick Evolution come into play?
It defaults to a basic control, which actually kind of controls like an old Genesis game, so
Gotcha.
it's really simplistic. And the Pro mode difficulty that is the default is incredibly easy. So yeah, right out of the box, if you never change any of the defaults, you could probably score, you know, 8 to 10 goals a game with your eyes closed.
Right. Sort of like new rules hockey anyways.
Yeah.
But anyways, so let's talk about some specifics that I do know the differences in feature set. So EA had a really full feature set this year, especially with their online modes, but 2K was a little bit lacking. Is there any one thing that's better about the feature set in EA?
So the difference is, for when we're talking online, it's like, yes, 2K has leagues. They're exactly the same as last year. EA added leagues, but they also added kind of what is an MMO mode. So you basically, you're one player on a team, on a league, and it's persistent. So it's like you're actually playing through a season, and it's just a really cool idea. It's actually got this like kind of big universe of players all kind of playing together and sort of, you know, playing through a season as one thing online, which is cool. It's the online league in 2K is just, you know, you pick a team, you play as that team, you know, through, you know, you can have up to 32 people on a league, but it's nothing new or exciting. And then offline, though, is really where, you know, 2K gets stomped by EA. I mean, just really gets trashed. So 2K's got a franchise mode that's no different than what they've ever done before, and then they have the ability to drive a Zamboni. And they have a little mini rink in case you want like 3-on-3 hockey. Nothing else beyond that. But you look at what NHL 09 added, and along with having, you know, a franchise mode, they also have Be a Pro mode, where you basically create a skater, go into the AHL, and you basically have to work your way up game after game, earning experience to become an NHL superstar, which is really awesome because you actually choose like what skills you're going to put your experience points into. So it's like a little NHL RPG. You know, so you have all, I mean, that mode alone is enough to just kind of absorb, you know, hundreds of hours of your time.
Yeah, and for really hardcore hockey fans, that's not the sort of details you usually get in an NHL game for quite a while. You know, they usually get focused on a little bit less than the other sports franchises, so that's kind of cool. And then there are a few presentation issues that we were talking about earlier that 2K did come through on, and adding a little bit of detail to your season. Sort of like the, I mean, the celebration mini game is kind of goofy, but it's still cool. Playoff beards are, again, goofy, but like,
it's nice. And I mean, and I will say that, you know, for them, I think they have the better commentary actually in their audio, and that commentary on 2K9 is actually really accurate for the most part, and they'll say really cool things like when, you know, a puck dings off of a post or something like that. NHL 09 seems a little bit behind the times in terms of its audio and its presentation. Just the slowdown during all the cutscenes in NHL 09 is really troubling. 2K9 runs much smoother than NHL 09, which is certainly a plus.
One thing I noticed, which is really cool, is the ability to watch highlight reels from each one of your players.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty awesome because that's kind of like the little Sports Center type edition, which is really, when you watch a highlight reel, you really want to focus on the one guy that you like, not just like highlights from everyone. You always want to skip forward to like the cool thing that one guy did.
Yeah.
So
unfortunately, that level of innovation and presentation doesn't translate into the gameplay or any of the other modes. So, yeah.
All right. So overall, you'd say NHL 09 takes the cake this year?
Oh yeah, without question. I would say that NHL 2K9 isn't even as good as NHL 08.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you had a choice and you only pick NHL 2K9 or NHL 08 from like a used bin, I would go NHL 08. So, yes, definitely get NHL 09 if you're going to spend $60 on a game.
And finally, what can 2K do to sort of bring themselves back, or maybe not even beat them, but differentiate themselves?
Well, they really have to nail down the AI because that was actually the biggest gameplay problem that they had this year. NHL 09 has stupendous AI, both opponent AI and also your other teammates. Your teammate AI and the opponent AI is really bad in a lot of cases in NHL 2K9. So they've got to shore that up because sports games are very much about like the AI first and foremost.
Yeah.
And then they've got to get some really cool feature sets. You know, it's not enough just to have like the same franchise mode we've seen for 5 years. They've got to actually do something innovative. Driving a Zamboni is like a ploy. You know, it's like a call out to people who love the Wii.
Right.
You know, it's like this is a hockey game is really a sim game. You know,
Right, yeah.
They want to make another game that's like an arcadey game. They should just do a different brand. But the 2K brand is really supposed to be about being like the best sim possible with kind of the biggest, most robust feature set, and they don't have that.
And that's what I felt as well. I mean, if you're buying a hockey game, you are not a casual player. These are people who are already hardcore, so you really don't need to make any call-outs to the casual player because they're not going to be playing a hockey league game. So there we have it. EA takes this one. We'll see you next time with our next Grudge.